make a character, one of my first tool I go to is ImageFX. ImageFX. Yeah, for sure. So at ImageFX, we'll log in, we'll do all we need to do, and then as usual, network will always do their network stuff. Can send me stuff we're still at time. Welcome, Evans. So on my plenty accounts. Okay, let's see if I can see one more on there. Awesome. Okay, so at ImageFX, let's just do a very quick. Let's say I'm going to do a stylized stylized character. So now, prompting is always the key to whatever AI you are going to do, whatever you're going to do with AI, your prompt needs to be like top notch. So there are some keywords that we are going to use. So first of all, I say stylized character because I don't want a realistic character. So I say stylized character. That's one key point. That's one thing to note first, stylized character. Now the next one now, I want it African. So let's stylize African, let's go with girl. African girl with now this width now is not going to be the accessories I want to do. Afro hair, braid hair, So this is where I'm going to start it now. So let me go with Afro this time around. Afro hair, or I can say bald. But I don't know. Let's say bald. Okay, let me do Afro. Afro hair. Now I want to describe what this person is going to wear. So I'll say wearing again African, let's say African Nigerian, pattern, let's say pattern pants. Them, they don't call it trousers, they call it pants, right? Yeah, pants. Yeah, and let's say blouse, blouse. So now one of the most important thing now, like it's very, very important, typos. Very, very important, typos, comma. Another important one again, plain background. Very necessary. They should not do anything. Now another important one again, full image render. Then I will now say comma again, facing camera. So these are like some of the key important things we're going to do. The rest, I think the rest, I don't bother touching the rest. So I now go create. So yeah, we'll have to wait for the AI to do its duty. But this is while we're waiting for it. The next tool I'm going to use, if I want to do like an animated character, I prefer to use Tripo. But if I was going to do something like 3D printing, or let's say like a termite hill, for example, or even a termite, or there's some stuff that I want to do. Right, I will use 3D.tencent.Hunyuan. So yeah, they don't care about us. They don't care. It's Chinese. Learn Chinese or forget it. So thank God for Google Translate. Yeah, don't even start with me. But they've locked me out again. These people, they just know how to piss me off sometimes. 3D. Literally. Now I have to look for. See, the same account is suspended. Sharp. Haha. Since we're not going to use, since we're not going to use 3D, but I would have loved to show us this. Let me try again. 3D dot Tencent dot unknown. Yeah, I don't know the violation I did. Yeah, so Tripo has updated their platform. So most of the time, I prefer using the old one. Though the new one is good, but majority of the time, I still find myself going back to the Tripo Lite. So I just come back. So this is the new version. You can do all your describing over here, add your image, but what I do, I just go back here and I go back to the lighter version of it. So now they're telling me that I should use the new one, Kinikon, but no, we know what we're looking for. Let's use the light version. So yeah, this is the light version. This is the older version. Okay. So ImageFX is done. So sure you see, even with the one I say full image, they still give me the recorder. So we're going to use any of these two over here. So I'm going to download the image. Let's download this one. Now I'm going to have some issues that I know that I can fix, but we're not going to deep dive into it, just on the surface, because this one that has this shoe now, I know that they are going to generate nonsense for me. Let's just take this one. Let's take this one up here. So image is downloaded. Let me drag this to my other screen. So now I'm going to go to Tripo and I'm going to use single image. Since this is not my paid account, so let's use a free one. So I'm just going to drag this to this, okay? So I'll click generate. So let's also try the same thing with the Tencent. So and let's see how it's going to be. So with Tencent, I'll click on Chinese, click on English so that it can translate. Awesome. So that has translated. So I'll come to upload image, same drill. Go to download, here it is. So let's see the difference. Now with this, we have 300k, 150k, 50k. For sure, I'm going to use 50k, and even 50k is still too much. But one of my workflow with this is that after I finish generating my image, what I do, I also go back to Blender. I have various topology too, where now since I'm going for animated character, majority of the time I have to retopo my character myself, and there are various plugins that help me with my retopo. One of my all-time favorite is Retopo Flow. It makes my work easier. No, it's not free. It's not free. It's paid. Retopo Flow, and then there is Speed Retopo. Like there are so many Retopo plugins out there, but that's me just being meticulous. Majority of the time, there might not be need for you to retopo your character. You can just use it as it is. Okay. So because of I have my background in sculpting and modeling character, sometimes if a character is going to be top notch, right, I have to like go ahead and retouple my character myself so that I can have proper deformation, smile, wink, and all those other stuff. I do it myself. But for today's section, we're not going to do that. We're just going to focus on just getting our character out of the 3D, sorry, out of the AI platform. So this is Tencent. So let's do generate. Sorry. I don't know. That should depend on when Dara would want me on board again. So see, there's geometry and texture. This phased. Are you seeing it? Or there's just geometry and texture. So any of them is fine. You can always mess around with it. So I'll just click on geometry and texture, and then I will click on generate. So it's going to generate while I see checking Tripo. Tripo is loading. Tencent is loading. Okay. So while we wait for them, they are taking their time to do the work. Something that used to take us days to make. It's taking AI. Don't tell me we try anything. It's taking AI just a couple of minutes. So let's see what we have. Okay. Future. I dislike the textures. Can you see the texture? Majority of the time I don't bother using their texture because I go ahead and do my stuff myself. Okay. So, but this is a nice pattern shirt. For me, AI is a tool for me. AI is just like a stepping stone. Is giving me ideas because I have various softwares I use to work, various tools. If I want to make this kind of textures myself, all I have to do is go to Instamat. Either I go to Instamat that is free to some extent, or I use Substance Painter. Are you seeing the leg? Shall I tell you guys that leg is going to be problematic? For sure, problematic. So at times like this is where I know that I have to actually retopo my character at times like this. Or if I know that I don't want to retopo, I have to go back again with the prompt. I have to make sure that the prompt is neat, and I don't want it. And I said, don't put on slippers, don't wear any shoe, just on bare feet. Okay. So in my ImageFX, I have to specify barefooted. I would have loved to do this one, but this one does not have leg, or even this one does not have leg too. So I would have loved to like go ahead and prompt it more. So our prompt is a key. Is a key to whatever we're going to do when it comes to AI. So it's about front and back, front and back, front and back. Okay. Like I'm in Tripo now, I'm seeing that okay, this thing is bullshit. I have to go back to ImageFX again and reprompt it in ImageFX. Even in Triple Studio, right? With Triple Studio, I can even say, where is it again? Text to speech. Yeah. So now that same description I have here, I can copy it, come back to Triple, and I can paste that. Sorry. Copy. That's not copy. Copy. So I can paste the same thing again and see what is going to happen. Right click generate. Oh, maybe he's going to load network or something. Or maybe I did not follow their rules and regulation. Okay, and I'm a human. Will a robot be? So let's check Tencent. Okay, Tencent is still loading too. So if I was going to use this character, all I have to do, I'm going to click Retopologize and look at the various platforms. Say 30K, mid, low. So majority of the time I either use mid or low. Or if I know that's going to be a game character, I'll just say game character, okay? So game assets. So I use any of these three depending on the pipeline or the platform I'm going to. So let's go for let's say game assets, okay? And then retopologize. And then the format I want, I prefer using FBX or OBJ. One of these two is my go-to. So let's go for FBX, and then I'll click download. So it's going to retopologize, switch it to FBX, and then it's going to download it out for me, okay? So while we wait for it to download, let's check out what we have with Tencent. Now look at Tencent, the eye, horrible. Horrible. Even the ears, horrible. You see? AI is a tool, okay? It's not here to replace human being. There are better ways to prompt our AI platform. I've got nice 3D render from Tencent. So I can tell that this one the leg is shabby. The same thing, so the leg is shabby, but this one's leg is better than the one we got from there's nothing better here. It's still bullshit. Okay, but we can tell that our prompts need more, like, which means our image from ImageFX, it needs to be neat, it needs to be cleaner, okay? But sometimes I can say, okay, I can do it myself, right? I can just take the body, what I have here, and I'm going to retopologize on it, and I'm going to use it to, get what I want from this, okay? So Tripo is ready. So I'm going to go to Blender. I'll go File, Import, and I'll say FBX. Download. Yeah, so there it is. So it's going to, okay. So voila. Let's check the mesh and let's see how it's going to look like. See, this is manageable. So I don't know if you can see this blue dot over here. Sorry, orange dot over here. Okay, so that dot is the origin of our object, and I want it to be on the floor. So I'm going to move. Sorry. Yeah, I'm in Blender now. Okay, my screen is not showing. Let me share full screen. Sorry. So I need to share full screen. Entire screen. Awesome. Thank you for that piece. Thank you very much. Okay. So entire screen is sharing. So I was talking about this orange that we have over here. Very necessary orange dots. Okay. So now when I go to my front orthographic view, my image is facing the right. So I need to make it rotate back to the front. So I'll go to edit mode, select everything, and then I'm going to rotate it -90. And then I'll press G, Z, and then I'll take it up. So it's going to be something like this, or some stuff, okay? Now, turn off my wireframe. Let's check out the mesh and see how it looks like. You know that this mesh, the material is not really making sense, you see? Which means I will have to go back again to my ImageFX or my Tripo to prompt it very well. So sometimes I even ask ChatGPT to write me a prompt. I'll describe what I want to ChatGPT. I'll ask it so that it's to be suited for Tripo, okay, for Tripo Studio. So look at the prompt we did. It's still loading over here. This is taking a long time. Well, let it load. Let's go back to Blender. So now this is how I generate my mesh. So next time, if I want to this, to me, this has saved me sculpting time. So what I can do now, I can now use my Retopo flow. I'm now going to Retopo this character to make it much better. Look at the hand, very terrible hand. Can you see it? Which means I need to go back again and reprompt. Or if I don't want to reprompt, I have various assets, various plugins that I use to make my workflow faster. So there's this human-based mesh. Oh, sigh. This thing have disappeared again. Anyway, there's this human-based mesh I normally use on Blender that I can get hands, legs, even mouth, teeth, eyes from. That's the way I do it. This is one of the assets. This is one of their assets. Okay. So that's how I go about it. Do I know if you have questions? Please feel free to ask me questions so that I can answer you guys. I think that's a wrap for now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. So for me, when I want to do that, that's why I spoke about Retopo, right? So I spoke about Retopo, and then if I want to do clothes, majority of the time I make my clothes by hand, mostly for the ones I want to simulate. Okay, what does I want to simulate? Except if it's just going to be the clothes I'm going to simulate, that's like what Dara did using Cloud 3D, right? And then taking it to AI. Okay, so let AI do the finishing touch. So that's the way I do it. So majority of the time, what I do is that either I go to Clo or Marvelous or Genie. Genie is free. Or I go to any of those one or Star 3D and make my cloth like this character, for example. Now there's no way this character cloth is going to flow because of how it's going to how it is, right? There's no way it's going to flow because everything is just one full mesh. If I was going to do this, I have to go to edit mode, right? And then I have to now start separating some stuff, or like I mentioned earlier, retopo my character. With it being retopoed, I can now say, okay, I want this part of the hand to be flowing when wind is blowing. Are you with me? This side. I want it to flow when wind is blowing, right? So now I'll now make it separate, and it's going to be a separate mesh entirely, okay? So that when I put in my physics into my Blender interface, it's going to flow very well. Do you understand? Okay. Any other question? Do anybody have any other question? Please go ahead. Okay, so this, yeah, so since see this is just me being meticulous, right? If my ImageFX actually gave me neat images, if my ImageFX gave me good images, it means that my Tripo.ai is going to give me good outputs. Are you with me? So yeah, so majority of the time, your prompting is the key. If you prompt well, you are going to get superb outputs, right? Look at what Triple gave us. This is what Triple gave us without using ImageFX. This is horrible, right? That's why I like using ImageFX to generate my idea, my base idea, and then I take the image into Triple, right? Then from Triple, I now go to Blender, okay? And I go to Blender to check how the mesh is, if I want to clean the mesh or anything. But sometimes I don't bother cleaning my mesh. You can see this one does not have leg. Can you see it? Right, it does not have tools, right? So which means that when I come back to my ImageFX, my prompt is going to carry each and every of the details. So majority of the time, I can also go to ChatGPT and tell Chat to, like, I can describe what I want for ChatGPT, so that Chat is going to give me that good output. I will not take it to ImageFX, okay? Or even with Chat, I can even generate. You can generate images with Chat, right? So I can even generate images with Chat, right? with neat image, and then I can come back to Tripo and put my image here. Okay, I can even say, I can say Disney style, Pixar style, DreamWorks style, different prompts. So your prompt is your key. So your prompt will determine your output. Okay, so when your prompt is neat, right, you are going to get good 3D generation. And with that 3D generation, what else you need to? All you have to do is go to what's the name of this uh, Mixamo. Yeah. So I go to Mixamo, and then I do my, I can rig my character, automatic rigging inside of Mixamo, and then I get my animation and all that stuff. Easy peasy. Okay. So we really don't have enough time to really delve into each and every of this workflow. So I'm just here to just introduce, so let you guys know that various things are possible. AI is a tool. It's not going to replace us anytime soon. We're just going to use it to do our work and be effective as it, because when you're good at what you do, right, you're going to enter the market, enter the industry, and take your space in the industry. Thank you very much. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, no problem. Oh yeah, there are plenty. Oh, there are plenty. There's one offline one that you just need to download into your laptop, but when you want to use it, you have to be online. That's AccuRig. Yeah, AccuRig by Actorco. You have to download it into your laptop. So I literally use AccuRig majority of the time over Mixamo. I like the rigging over Mixamo. So that's that. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, no problem then. Well, thank you all for joining this little time, this online class. See you next time. Okay, peace. Okay, no problem. Yeah, bye guys.